up, everybody? Welcome in to the Early Edge. I'm your host, Allan Bell. We have a fantastic show lined up for you today. But I'll tell you what, before we get to it, as always, let's take a look at how we did on Friday here. You know what? All right. Not bad. Not great. Well, really, you know what? It's not really good. Like, that didn't really help us at all here. But I'll tell you what, I appreciate everybody having my back after going 0 for 4 and 0 for 4. Double golden sombreros. Not good at all there, but we bounced back. The Braves were nice to us. And shout out to the speculator there, JD Martinez, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. So well done on that. Now, here's the deal. All right. We need your help. Okay. This ends in 2 days. All right. The end of July. We've been nominated for the best sports podcast of the year. We need you to go vote at podcastawards.com/app/sign up. You can scan the QR code there on your screen or in the description. We will drop a link there. Scroll down to the sports category, find the Early Edge, and we would greatly, greatly appreciate all of your help in regards to that. Now, it's enough of me yapping. Let's bring in the stars of the show here and get this thing fired up because you're ready to make some bets. I'm ready to make some bets. And I know my dogs right here are ready to make some bets as well. So, Sia, first off, good to see you, buddy. I love you crashing in on the Saturday Early Edge. It wouldn't be the same without you, my man. How we doing?
This is such an all-star crew. I'm glad I'm able to crash today. And I got to say, everybody in the chat, that pitch by you, Allan, to vote for the Early Edge. We've got the QR code. We've made it easy for you. You can go so many different ways to vote. Just type, Allan, let me just take over for a second. Type into the chat, I promise, and just have some accountability that you're going to actually vote for the Early Edge as the best podcast. I will say this, before I hog all the floor, we're only 40 days from NFL season. Gale Sayers days away, Rock Cartwright days away from NFL season. So I am really excited. That means 28 days from college football season. That's 4 weeks. Let's go.
Nice. Yeah. Well, hey, well done on both of those right there. And Rock Cartwright, dude, haven't heard that one in a minute, my man. I feel like Propstarz, I feel like you would be all over Rock Cartwright props back in the day.
I love Rock Cartwright props, AB. I also have a little housekeeping to get to real quick. I saw on the recap screen that I had 2 missed picks yesterday. I had no official picks for the record there, so maybe we didn't do quite as bad as we all thought we did.
Oh, nice. Look, there's a very good chance that I messed that up. So, all right, there we go. Well done on that one. Yeah, there's a very, very good chance. Well, I'll tell you the problem is trying to find Bucket's picks, even though he wasn't on yesterday, and, just trying to find those soccer teams. So well done on that one. Apologies there. Amags, dude, I'm starting it. That was basically like a leadoff hitter. Just 3 straight pitches. Didn't even swing the bat, struck out. It's awful, man.
All right. Well, I know that we got, if you look at the, something that interesting I wanted to touch on real quick, if you look at like the day baseball games versus night baseball games, it's all night stuff. And we have Sia on today. So I figured maybe it's a little Saturday night Sia mojo. Is that correct?
That's a good, that's
it
a good
is
one,
correct, actually. Stay tuned.
I was gonna say Subway Sia right there, but we'll get into that one later on. But yeah, man, it's kind of a weird slate because you're right. It's like what, 1 or 2 day games and then all night games.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's a couple out west, I believe, starting at like 4 o'clock. So they are day games there, but 4 o'clock East Coast wise. So nothing early today.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Speaking of that, if you didn't watch CBS Sports HQ last night, Sia crushed it. Me, him, Tommy Tran, just all over it baseball. And today, it's going to continue. 12 p.m. Eastern, me and Kenny White jumping on with our boy Joe Russo. Going to get after this thing and get it fired up. So make sure, pay attention. CBS Sports HQ at 12 p.m. Eastern. You can watch via the Paramount Plus app, the CBS Sports app, or cbssports.com/live. And I think I just called him Joe Russo. I meant Joe Musso. But you know what? Either way, there we go. Joe knows. Hey, I love him. All right, let's get into our marquee matchups for today. All right, we're going to start here. Major League Baseball favorites, okay? Tried to go through and find games and favorites that weren't too totally crazy in terms of the money lines because we got some super high-juiced games out there today. So let me put this up on the screen here, all right? And we have, let's see. Hold on one second. Let me get this thing right. There we go. All right, so 3 games here. That's what we're going to choose from, all right? The Orioles at home against the Yankees, -120. The Blue Jays at home against the Angels, -130. And the Astros at home against the Rays at -140. So, Sia, throw it to you first, man. What are you looking at?
This is interesting. I mean, first of all, I do have a lean toward the Orioles, but one of my plays today was going to be to fade the Toronto Blue Jays here, and the part of the reason was because Manoah's on the mound, and I really like Ty Detmer. I think Detmer's is really really good. The problem is I'm not exactly sure right now, and this game's at 3:00 Eastern Standard Time. I'm not exactly sure what the lineup's going to look like for the Angels. We're not 100% sure Ohtani's going to play, although I mean I think he might. He exited the game late yesterday with cramps, but either way, I was leaning towards the first five here for the Angels. So I'm going to lean that way, and I'm going to fade the Blue Jays.
All right, there we go, man. And you're right. That's a great point in regards to Ohtani. That's going to come up next in the home run props there. But good to get that information out there because you're right. And, I feel like he's kind of a large part of that lineup there, right? So, yeah, Ohtani, pretty important there. Amags, throw it to you, man. What are you looking at?
Well, to that point, AB, real quick, I don't know if you saw, they had a shot. It was on Twitter. I saw it was a shot of Matt Chapman after Ohtani homered yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago. But he said, that's the only explicit guy on the team that can hit. Why are we pitching to him? So he was yelling at his own manager that they should not be pitching to Ohtani. So I definitely agree there. If he's out of the lineup, it looks much different. I think I want to just lay the price with Houston at -140. Don't love Taj Bradley, and I actually do think that Hunter Brown is ascending a little bit on the way up, and so I'm going to take him. Some strikeout upside there too. I don't think -140 is all that bad of a price, especially with Altuve and Yordan Alvarez back in the lineup.
Yeah, that's a good point right there. Propstars, my dude, Jules. What are we looking at, dog?
Yeah, I do like backing Houston, as Amags said, with those bats back in the lineup, but I am going to fade the Blue Jays like my cousin Sia suggested. I think this is a big advantage for the Angels with Detmers on the mound facing Manoah. Manoah has really struggled, just does not look like the pitcher he was over his first 2 seasons in the MLB. So, yeah, I think the Angels have been one of the best lineups in baseball, particularly recently over the last month. So I think even if Ohtani doesn't play, I would still like the Angels as a live dog here. So, yeah, I'm going to back the Angels today, AB.
All right, there you go, man. And your boy, Mickey Mantle-Moniak, dude, has been mashing at the plate. That dude is getting hits left and right. So it's a good call on that one. Yeah, see you. What up?
I got to correct myself. I did say Ty Detmer, which is, we're 40 days from football season. So the BYU product, a great quarterback.
Shout out Ty Detmer, former Philadelphia Eagle.
They played for 6 NFL teams, including, I guess, the backup for Donovan McNabb, right, Probby?
That's right.
And, it's obviously Reed Detmers and not Ty Detmer.
Yeah.
Although I bet you Ty Detmer can pitch.
And he comes from a football family, if I'm not mistaken. There were other Detmers in the NFL.
Does he?
Was it Coy Detmer?
Say it again?
Coy Detmer as well, I believe his brother.
Well, I was just about to ask that. I think that's Ty's brother, right?
Yeah, Ty's brother's Coy.
Yeah. There you go. You know what? I feel like the Detmer and Detmer's family would be happy about that. Just the inclusion right there. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Speaking of that. All right. Well, not speaking of that at all, but let's take a quick break and hear from one of our partners. And we are back. All right. Next one here. Home runs. And Sia, I'm going to let you start off again because you brought it up in regards to Shohei Ohtani. Here are the 3 that we have for today. Aaron Judge plus 175. Shohei Ohtani plus 275 and Manny Machado plus 375 to hit a home run today. Obviously, Sia, as you mentioned, betting on Shohei Ohtani depends on if he's in the lineup. I'll say this. I went through this last night. The books did not have Ohtani props out there this morning. Absolutely. Fired him out there. So that's why we included him. But I'll let you start, man. Go ahead. What do you got?
Yeah, I'll go with Manny Machado. I like this number plus 375. And honestly, Martin Perez really hasn't been that dude for at least a month and a half here. And Manny Machado's been hitting home runs. It seems like every 3rd or 4th day, Manny Machado has been hitting a home run, which means he's kind of due because it's been a few days. Not that I'm really going off that, but he has been hitting home runs, and Martin Perez has been very susceptible to hits in general, but also home runs. By the way, just shout out to Manny Machado. That play he made from his bottom to steal a base hit yesterday was one of the plays of the year.
It was amazing. The fact that, fields the ground ball on his backside, all right, then fires it to first. Like, that's a long throw, dude, and 100%. And that game was banana land last night, by the way, as well. It was crazy, but 100%. Man. If anybody hasn't seen that play, go check it out. That was a stud play from Machado there. All right, Max, throw it over to you, man. Who you looking at here? I got a feeling I know where you're going, but go ahead and fire it up.
Well, I will say maybe, the Aaron Judge side, it looks a little light at plus 175, but I think he does need to turn it on today. But I'm going to ride with Sia. I'm going Machado.
Oh.
And when you look at him versus lefties, remember now, there's some things we like to play. Machado versus lefties is one of them. So I'm going to take him at the best price on the board, plus 375. I think that's really good odds, honestly.
All right, there we go, man. Propstarz. Who you looking at, bub?
2's company, 3's a crowd, gentlemen. I'm going to make it Manny Machado as well. He's been playing great baseball recently, particularly in the month of July and June, really heating up at the plate, like the matchup against Perez. So a little righty on lefty crime there as well. So give me Machado. I like the odds, obviously, at plus 375 as well.
All right. I tell you what, I'm going Aaron Judge. I'm going Judge. I think it's an all-rise. Yeah, I think it's an all-rise Saturday, man. I'm going with Judge, even though, plus 175 in his second game back is ridiculous. Like, the number should be higher, but, yeah, I got a feeling that the Judge goes Yahtzee today. All right, let's get to our picks, but before we do, let's take one more quick break and hear from one of our partners. And we are back. All right, now, Mags, look, I already started the show lead off with just pure blockheadness. It was awful. So we're just going to forget that happened. You're our true leadoff hitter. We're just going to assume that was the end of BP. All right. The game hadn't started yet.
Yeah.
You're our true leadoff guy. Go ahead. Let it rip, man. What do you got?
All right, man. Well, I like that. And I'll try to take us here in a bit of a quick, leadoff hitter and make it quick for you. So first off, I do like a couple of pitchers today. We're going to talk about those. If you want to join me on Twitter after this, I hopped on last week and said that I'll start doing that. Call it extra innings if you want. So we'll talk through some of those situations. But we're going with a couple of hitters today here on the show. First one, Max Muncy in this late game here out west. I like the Muncy lefty versus Luke Weaver right-handed pitcher matchup. Muncy's just been much worse against lefties this year. Now, he really hasn't had a great season in terms of batting average, but he does produce power. And I think today against Luke Weaver, it's a really good matchup for him. He went over this number in 5 straight, and then he failed to do so in the last 3 games. I think tonight he gets off the schneid. And then we'll go to that guy, Aaron Judge. It is an all-rise Saturday. I love this play over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. We're getting it at plus money. He walked 3 times last night, only had 1 official at bat, and that was a line drive that was right at the right fielder, basically. So I like the chances of him hitting the ball hard today against Tyler Wells, who's been worse against right-handed hitters. We used Tyler Wells earlier in the season to target a team like San Francisco that would just load up the lefties, and he got us the strikeouts. But with a Yankees lineup that only probably features 2, at most 3 lefties, it's going to be a little bit tougher for him tonight. And I do think that Aaron Judge, after going 0 for 1 last night with 3 walks, he kind of understands we lost the game 1-0. If I don't go out there and swing the bat, I don't know if 3 walks is going to do it. You kind of can't pass the baton to the next guy right now. Judge has to do it himself. So give me the over 2.5 at plus money.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I was honestly surprised. I mean, not with the walks part, but the fact that, not only coming off of that, toe injury in his first game back, I mean, he put the, bat on the ball hard, right? I mean, it looked a lot better, and especially after a 2.5-hour rain delay as well.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that could have been throwing off like your feel, it did. And your man still got it up there. So, yeah, I'm 100% with you on that one. All right, Sia, coming over to you, buddy. You got 2 plays here, I believe, today. Go ahead and let it rip. What you got?
Yeah, one of them is up on SportsLine. I'll get to that one in a second. But first, we're going to do a first 5. Like I said, I was leaning a first 5 in that early game, the 3 o'clock game. I think if Ohtani's in the lineup, I'll consider it. And by the way, those of you that are asking about golf, there's just not really a lot of matchups. Like on most of the books, you're not getting any 3 balls. It's just 2 balls. And I wasn't in love with any of them. So stay tuned tomorrow. I'll be on the show. Hopefully I'll have a matchup or a 3 ball for you. Mariners first 5 money line. That's where I'm going. Minus 132. I got Brian Wu versus Brandon Pfaadt. Again, this is a first 5. Brian Wu hasn't been good over his last couple of starts, but I do think he's the better pitcher over Pfaadt. And the Seattle Mariners have been the better team by a landslide since the All-Star break. I believe in the talent ultimately, and Pfaadt he hasn't been good all season. Speaking of BP, you just mentioned it. His initials are BP, and I think the Seattle Mariners will be having batting practice over the Arizona. I was almost going to say Cardinals, man. 40 days till football season. Arizona Diamondbacks. So give me the first 5 there. By the way, zone of 3 and 10 since the All-Star break. The other one I like, and it's up on SportsLine, and I really wanted to put it up early. It's the Dodgers Reds over 10. It's 10.5 in a lot of places, but over at Caesars Sportsbook, it's still over 10. If it's 10.5, I might start looking at the team totals. The Dodgers is over 5.5, and the Reds is over 4.5. So those are ones to consider there. But it's Weaver and Sheehan, and both of them have been very bad over the last 4 games. I'll give you the totals for both of them. Sheehan, over his last 4, 24 hits and 20 runs. Weaver, over his last 4, 24 hits and 14 runs. It's going to be a good hitting environment. Both of these guys giving up a lot of contact, a lot of hard hits. In Sheehan's case, he's really not finding the strike zone very well at all. I just think this is a recipe for 11, 12, 13 runs potentially, again, in a very good hitting environment at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, see, I tell you what, man, like I 100% agree with that. And I'm just going to jump into mine, and I'll leave you guys on the screen. Tell me, how you feel, like, dislike, beyond, like, you're not going to hurt my feelings. But going off of that, like, my first play, Freddie Freeman, over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, plus 120. We're getting this at a plus number. Also, like you said, I think it's going to be a phenomenal hitting environment for both sides. Not only the Dodgers hitters, but the Reds as well. So yeah, I'm going to ride Freddie today and to get him there at plus money. Next, look, we're going right back to the well. Ronald Acuna, over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, minus 130. One, I really like that, obviously Ronald Acuna being the leadoff hitter for the Atlanta Braves, it gives us opportunity after opportunity, but you're seeing, the Braves back half of the lineup kind of carrying the team a little bit, at least to get them started yesterday. And then we saw, Acuna, was just hitting well throughout the game, but then Riley comes up with a home run. Then Matt Olson comes up with a home run, right? Like, I like where Acuna is right here in the middle between all of that. And then lastly, we're going to do it again. Braves team total over 5.5. It's going to be a warm day again over at Truist Park. It's going to be hot. Last night helped with the thunderstorms earlier, in the afternoon and leading up to the game. The humidity level shot up. I can tell you here in Nashville, I'm a quick drive to Atlanta. It is ridiculously hot and muggy. So yeah. Like, I like the atmosphere that's going to be there today. Boys, any thoughts that you have on either of those three? Like, dislike, anything?
I definitely like, that LA game with Freeman there. I totally agree with C. It's actually funny. I was in the middle of writing up that over 10 when we were hopping on the show, and I was like, I'll finish it after. But I do like really getting in at that 10 number. I think that makes a lot of sense. Getting in at 10, you're going to push at 10. So yeah, you're kind of guarding yourself a little bit there, where it's 10.5 at other books. And then you're still going to need the 11th to cash regardless. So no, I do like that. And I think that game is a solid look for player props.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, going off of both of those teams, I mean, last night, on HQ, we played Reds and Dodgers, both teams to score 3+ runs. I mean, the Reds had that in the first inning. It took a while, honestly, for the Dodgers to get there, but they finally did. I might take a look at one of those again. If you get it at 4, you're definitely going to get plus money. So just something to think about if you're, out there looking for it. All right, Propstarz, my man, hitting cleanup here. Dude, you're the Matt Olson of this squad here. All right, hitting cleanup. What do you got, boy?
Yeah, AB, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies. Rode them yesterday, going right back to the well. However, instead of the money line, I like the run line in this matchup against the Pirates. The Phillies have been really good on the road recently, facing a Pirate squad, which I think they have significant advantage of all over the field, particularly the pitching matchup. Aaron Nola on the mound for the Phillies pitched a lot better recently. ERA around 3.5 over his last 6 starts. He has great historic numbers against the projected Pirates lineup as well. And then as far as the Pirates are concerned, they have a rookie pitcher, Priester, on the mound. He has a 9 ERA over 2 starts. He's given up 2 home runs in each of his 2 starts as well. The Phillies' bats have been quiet recently. I think they're going to have some success today against him, provide Nola with plenty of run support, and certainly enough to cash this prop, needing 1.5 or at least 2 runs to win. So yeah, let's go Phillies on the run line, minus 1.5. You can get this at minus 110 odds as well.
Yeah, Propstarz. You know what's funny, man? So me and Kenny White will be on HQ here in about an hour and a half. That's my number 1 play out of what we selected. Yeah, the pitching matchup is absolutely ridiculous, favored in regards to Philadelphia with Nola going up against the Rook. Dude, I might be all over some Kyle Schwarber props as well, even though, he went yard yesterday. Yeah. Like, this could be not to put it in the ether, but I really, 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 really like that play. Yeah, that's a good one here. All right, everybody, grab your paper, grab your pencil, take a little recap. And guys, if you'll hang tight after the recap, we're going to play a couple games and have some fun real quick. But first, on the recap here, Amags is on Max Muncy over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at -120. Aaron Judge over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at +105. Propstarz is on the Phillies run line -1.5 at -110. The Counselor of Cash, Sia Nejad, is on the Mariners first 5 money line -132, and the Reds Dodgers over 10 -125. I am on Freddie Freeman over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at +120. Ronald Acuna over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. That's not -113. That's -130 again. Dude, recap issues front and back here. Not looking good there. My formatting needs some work there, but the Braves team total over 5.5 as well at -110. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. All right. Got a couple things lined up. You guys know how we get down on Saturdays. And I don't know which order that they're in, so I'm just going to pull it up here. All right, first up, okay? Our man, Trent Wade, all right? As always on Saturdays, NASCAR plays. All right, you guys tell me. I'm going to put this on the screen. You guys tell me which one you like and are going with here. All right, we got the Cookout 400 Richmond Raceway getting down. All right. He has 2 plays, head-to-heads. All right, Kyle Larson -118 over Denny Hamlin. Martin Truex Jr. -136 over Christopher Bell. Excellent last name. Mags, go first, buddy. Who you like?
I like that Truex. Lay the -136. It's worth the squeeze today. And the only reason I say that is because I have won one NASCAR bet this year, whatever it was, and it was on Martin Truex Jr. So
there you go. There you go. See ya. If you haven't played this, we do this. The picks are real. Like Trent knows what he's talking about, but we have fun with it, right? So, Sia, I throw it to you. Which one do you like here? You going Larson, Truex? You fading them? How do you feel?
If you all follow me on Twitter, you know that 3 weeks ago, I posted a $3 entry that won $750 on DraftKings because I went off of a couple of guys, including Mike McClure, but somebody else as well over at Win Daily. So I don't know anything about these guys, I'll be honest, but I do know that Martin Truex Jr. was in that lineup. I know Christopher Bell has been racing pretty well too, because since that time I've been playing a little NASCAR DFS. I'm gonna lay the juice here as well. Martin Truex Jr. -136 with the caveat that kind of don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, that's what makes the game so much fun. Like Trent does, we don't, right? Like that's what makes it so much fun. Propstarz, who you rolling with here?
I especially don't know what I'm doing, Sia, but
you miss Ross Chastain on there.
I was just gonna say, AB, where is my guy Ross Chastain? The closest thing I know to some familiarity here is the Christopher Bell related to Allan Bell, a distant cousin. So I'm gonna fade the Truex pick and back my boy Christopher Bell, distant cousin of Allan Bell.
There we go. I'll tell you what. I'll put a video on Twitter here. The road in Nashville here, when you get off the interstate, like leading to our office, our office is right behind Broadway. All right. So the Music City Grand Prix is, I think, next week. So literally the streets are the Grand Prix track. Right. And I got off the interstate and like they're building out the scaffolding and the rate. Like, dude, I just took off. Like I just flew it. I was like, oh, wait, there could be police here. We need to slow it down. But yeah, dude, like it's fun. All right, our next one here. Let's see what we've got. Oh, okay. All right. So the algorithm is up. These are our top 5. All right. These are the simulations from SportsLine algorithmed into our top 5 for today and for tomorrow based off of most likely to hit a home run, most likely to steal a base, and pitchers in terms of strikeouts. So everyone can see today and tomorrow, but I'm just going to quickly go through home runs today, starters, stolen bases, you name it. All right, so home runs, Pete Alonso, Aaron Judge, Byron Buxton, Kyle Schwarber, Shohei Ohtani. Stolen bases, Ronald Acuna, Trey Turner, Bobby Witt, Julio Rodriguez, Corbin Carroll. And then starting pitchers in terms of strikeouts and the projection number, Aaron Nola, 6.47, Tosh Bradley, 6.42, Reed Detmers, Ty's cousin there, 6.22, Yu Darvish, 6.14, and Hunter Brown at 6.11. So, Max, throw it to you, man. Does anything stand out here? Anything you like, disagree with? What do you think?
Well, I like seeing Judge up there. And just quick about Judge, I saw a comment about him and just, not having rehab games. I mean, as we see the models like him, and that's probably due to, who he is and his performances this year. But I do think that there's got to be an element sometime in your handicapping of these are human beings and this is what they're thinking. And I think that part of that comes in today with Judge. Just losing 1-0 is brutal last night. You are the star of the team. You have to go swing a hot bat. And Tyler Wells is in the 6th percentile for barrel rate, so absolutely awful. So I do think that that's a really good one. And then I'm still a little surprised by Nola being at 6.47 on the Ks, I guess is my only other thought. I know projecting Ks is a little bit different, but I would think he's going to go over his prop.
Yeah, he's got a real opportunity to do that today, and especially if he's got, playing with a lead there. Just a little more relaxed and probably can go as long as he wants. You know what I mean? So, yeah. See ya. Anything you see on here?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with Kyle Schwarber just because of what we talked about earlier with the home run props. Bobby Witt sticks out to me. The walk-off grand slam last night, and Bailey Ober on the mound from a stolen base standpoint, big lumbering pitcher. Maybe Bobby Witt gets a steal, and then Reed Detmers, he does strike out a lot of guys. I would probably take the under on Yu Darvish, and maybe I'd lean with the over on Reed Detmers because he does pick up the strike. If he can stay in the game, he's going to hit this prop.
Yeah, here's what fascinates me. All right, so I literally texted a buddy of mine last night. The second that Pete Alonso hit his second home run of the game, okay, go back. We saw Shohei Ohtani hit 2 home runs in a game. Then what does he do? The next game, which was Saturday or Friday, hits a home run, his first at bat. Like, I'm fascinated to see what Alonso does, right? Like, I don't know if there's any correlation at all whatsoever. No idea. But, like, that's as soon as Alonso hit that second home run, I texted him. I was like, dude, are we betting Alonso on a bomb? Like, I think that this might correlate here. So, something to pay attention to, keep an eye on. I have no idea, right? I mean, in regards to that. But for some reason, they're just, I guess you're just seeing it well. Like, you're just hitting well. You know what I mean? Like, if you're hitting 2 bombs in a game, you're probably, going to look good in the next one. But something to pay attention to. Propstarz, what do you think, man? Anything you see?
Yeah, I also like Amags, and you guys like Aaron Nola.
I like Amags too.
Yeah, looks like a good spot. I think Taj Bradley is a little high here. I actually like fading him against Houston. They have the lowest K rate in baseball over the last month and a half. They've been very stingy. I also think with Yordan Alvarez and Altuve back in the lineup, that could potentially shorten Bradley's day as well. He rarely goes over 5 innings. So I think that's a big ask for him to go over 6 strikeouts against this Astros lineup. So I like potentially fading Bradley if you can find a good price on it.
All right, there we go. Well said. All right, boys, that's all that we have for today. Any final thoughts before we get out of here? Anybody doing anything fun this weekend?
No, I lied to you last weekend. I messed that up. I was going to the Yankee game. I forgot I was doing that. So this weekend is low key. I'm not lying this time.
I see it.
Yeah, I'm prepping for football season, and I'm prepping for the early edge tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm watching baseball and golf and watching my bets play out. There's a lot to do. It's busy.
It is, dude. It's busy time, man. Propstarz, Jules, what are you doing, buddy?
I am prepping for NFL season as well. I will also be debuting a new background tomorrow.
Oh, wow. All right, dude. Well, you know what? Yeah, I know, dude. I'm not that I wasn't tuning in already, but now we're going to be there early in the chat, ready to go. Good to see it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be live, as mentioned, normal time, Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. But until then, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks.